Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show, your Community Natural Health Club. So, my goal is to help people start their own club. We know a lot of people that are sick. The only way we can have power, we need to just get ourselves together and start a club and learning from each other. My name is Michael Tyson. I'll tell you a little about me. I started getting into health maybe about 20 years ago. Um, I had terrible allergies, however, 3 times a year. And I just had to find something that would help me because I was go to the doctor and they would just medicate me to death.
Susan.
And hello. So I tried to find out what can I do to end my allergy because it was lasted 3 or 4 months and I would have it three times a year. It was like 6 months. And it was, just wearing me out. I was tired, I had problems going to school. So what I did, I said, you know what, I heard about this diet, eating vegetables and stuff. So I said, well, let me try that. I said, well, I just can't eat lettuce and tomatoes. So I, learned how to make a really nice salad. So it was so nutritious, I decided to, investigate it more. So what I did is started eating a lot of salads, and I noticed, my body started to change, and I was eating salads breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So all of a I ate a lot of greens like spinach, anything green, a lot of spinach, and I try to make my salads kind of simple. And all of a sudden, people started to notice this change in me. They were saying, "Oh, your skin looks nice, your eyes are really clear," and my allergies got really nice. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And all of a sudden, within 2 months, my allergies went away. I'm like, "Oh, wow." People started telling me about my skin and my eyes, and I started going to the bathroom really well. And one day I went into the New York City subway, and all of a sudden, strangers were just telling me things. I think that year in New York it was 100 degrees, so when you go into the subway, it's like 150. So, people said, well, why are you not sweating? I'm like, I don't know. Everybody had towels and stuff, but I was just not sweating at all. It actually felt really great. So a lot of people kept telling me, oh, your skin looks great, your eyes good. So I said, you know what, let me go to a nutritionist. So the nutritionist told me, well, what were you doing? And I said, well, I ate salads, a lot. He said, how much salads you eating? I said, breakfast and lunch and dinner. He said, how long have you been doing this? I said, about less than 2 months. He said, all that salad you were eating was cleaning you out. That's why you had that good bowel movement. That's why people were commenting about your skin. And I didn't even tell him about my allergies because I forgot I even had it. So I kind of stopped the diet, and I noticed people stopped commenting about my skin, my eyes, and my allergies went away for 2 years. And I was just so shocked about that. So when I got off I live in New York City, and everybody loved it. I used to go do the Beamer, the wheatgrass, the foot detox, and some food. Like the foot detox is you put your feet in some water and you put this device in it, and it helps your body detox in like a 25-minute treatment. So I tell people, go on YouTube, look up the foot detox so you can learn more about it, because I can't tell you everything on here. Same with the Beamer. I tell people to go on YouTube. And the wheatgrass, I also tell them to go on YouTube to learn more about it. So I'm going to talk about my testimonials with these things that I do. I'm going to talk about the detox first. When I first heard about it, I asked a friend of mine, so I'm like, this guy is doing this thing called foot detox. Let's go and check it out. So we go, and the guys give up the treatment. So the guy that was doing the treatment said something to me. He says, well, what's wrong with your friend? The next day, my friend called me up and said, Mike. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? He said, the pain is gone. I'm like, what are you talking about? He says, Mike, every morning I will wake up with this chest pain. It's completely gone. And he said it's because of the foot detox. I'm like, well, maybe they'll come back tomorrow. So he said they never came back. So I asked him, well, do you remember anything that happened to you, that could have caused you to have these chest pains? He said, I remember when I was young, we used to burn our garbage because I live in the island. So I used to love to burn the garbage, and I used to sit there and smell the plastic. And I was just so shocked. I'm like, well, maybe that's what builds up in your chest and couldn't come out, and that's probably why you have that pain. So we credit that with foot detox. And I was just amazed, and I met other people that did the foot detox, and I was asking them, why do you do the foot detox? And I met this elderly lady. She said, I was doing a demo. Outside, it's completely gone. I'm like, well,
Michael.
maybe. Yeah.
Michael, we can hear you.
You can hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, Michael.
Okay. So, my friend said, my pain went away. I'm like, oh, okay, this is from the Beamer. So I got kind of curious. I said, I'm going to go to another meeting. So I went to another meeting. They gave everybody treatments, and I took another friend. And she got a treatment, and she said to me, Mike, when I came here, I had a pain on my side, and it was really bothering me. It's completely gone after this treatment. So I'm like, okay. So I started doing more investigation, and I started asking people who had the device. And I asked them, well, this device is kind of expensive. Can you tell me, why did you buy it? So they would tell me their testimony, this is the only thing worked. The doctor said my glaucoma improved, and, get all these testimonials. I'm like, oh, wow. So I said, you know what, I'm getting older, and this would be a great device to help me, as I age, because I don't really like going to the doctor. So I became a Beaver distributor. I started treating people, and I started getting all these testimonials from the people I was treating. And the Beaver company doesn't like us to tell other people a testimonial. So one day I went over a lady's house to give her a treatment. So I was giving her treatment, and all of a sudden her cat jumped in her lap. And she said to me, you know what? This is strange. I'm like, what? She said, my cat never jumped in my lap. So I asked her, I said, is your cat sick? And she said, yes. I'm like, animals are attuned to these frequencies. And I think that's probably why your cat jumped in your lap. So I'll treat other people, and I'll get all these testimonials. And I just really shocked about it. It made me believe it even more. So I bought the device, and they recommended you do two treatments a day for 8 minutes. Each treatment will last for 8 hours. So I was really amazed by all these testimonials. And I'm also into wheatgrass. I tell people, please go on YouTube, Google it, because there's a lot about wheatgrass I just cannot sit here and tell you. So what I do is I tell people my testimonial.
Mic check. Michael, we don't hear you. Press star 6 to become unmuted if you're muted.
So, hello?
We can hear you, Michael.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, everyone. So I realized when I go to the doctor, they always check my blood to do this treatment on me. So they would tell me these things, oh, your blood work's been great. We never have to stop the treatment. And every time I go, oh, you're really doing great. So this medication was giving me was kind of really working. And I give that credit to the Beamer for the circulation, and also with the wheatgrass. The wheatgrass is so potent that it digests in your body in 1 minute. Like when I became a distributor, I connected with this company in Canada because they said their wheatgrass was double the potencies of the ones that you get in the health food store. And I realized when I go to the health food store, when I have the wheatgrass there, half the time I feel nauseous and I didn't know why. So I couldn't take as much as I want. So I called the company up. I said, listen, when I go to the health food store and I get your wheatgrass, half the time I feel nauseous. And he told me there's a reason why you feel nauseous, because a lot of time in the health food store, they tend to overwater it, and it creates mold. That's what you're allergic to. I said, oh, I know a lot of people that say it makes them feel nauseous. So it's mold in there that makes them feel bad? He says, yes. I'm like, okay. And I said, another thing, I went to Whole Foods and I saw frozen wheatgrass, because the one I sell is frozen. And theirs, he says, well, theirs is not pasteurized. They sell it in the store, frozen, that means it's not pasteurized. If it wasn't pasteurized, they would have to put a special label on it. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I said, our wheatgrass is not pasteurized, and we have to put a special label on it. And we cannot sell ours to a store. So it's the only way a store could sell it, and it has to be pasteurized. I'm like, oh, okay. That's very interesting. So when I got the wheatgrass, it was frozen, comes in cubes. I tried to see how much I can take. So I took up to 10 ounces, and I was just so shocked without any problem. And then I took it early in the morning, and that night, I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even eat anything today because I took all that wheatgrass. So it cuts your appetite. It's very nutritious. Anything very nutritious will cut your appetite. So when I fast, I take a lot of wheatgrass, and I notice that I can fast even longer because I usually fast for one day. One day I said, let me test this out. So I tested it out, and I went 3 days, and I was going to go a fourth day, and I was just kind of shocked. I'm like, oh, this is great for people who are going to fast, is to take more wheatgrass. You know, a lot of people have problems trying to fast, especially for the first time. So the wheatgrass is very, very, very important. And also I want to talk about starting a health group because, you know, a lot of us on here and, you know, people who are sick, relatives, friends, family, I want them to start their own group so we can help each other out. You know, we're on here learning things, and we need to share it, you know, with our friends and family, co-workers, or a group of people they know, especially like people into a church. So I want to help people with that and tell them about the wheatgrass. Teach each other. So that's something I definitely want to do. And that's why I want to get on this network and show people how to do these things. It's very easy. As a group, you tend to go further because you have people involved. You know, we all, you know, want to get ourselves healthy, and we can teach each other. And I figured, well, let's start a health club. All right, I started a health club, and I'm in New York, and it was very successful. Everybody enjoyed it. I taught them how to make certain things. You know, told them about the wheatgrass. They bought it. They felt the difference. And usually with the wheatgrass, I ask people to go to their doctor after they start taking the wheatgrass, maybe 2 weeks to a month, and have them do a blood test. And I said the doctor will notice the difference from your prior blood test. Sometimes they'll be very impressed. I had a couple of clients. I told them to do that, and they're like, oh, wow, the doctor said this is the best blood test I ever had. I said, when your blood is good, your body can really heal. It's just that it struggles when it doesn't get the nutrition and stuff. So it has a hard time trying to rebuild things in your body. So once you get the nutrition, you will see the difference. I'm like, it happened to me. It happened to other people I know. And so by me being part of this, you know, having a club, I'm going to have people call in and tell their testimonials of what they went through. You know, how the wheatgrass improved them, and of course helps them with their diet, how it improved, what did their doctors say, you know, about their condition. But it really, you know, the wheatgrass is very powerful, and I'd love to let people know more about the Beamer. I do health parties in the tri-state area, like New York, Philly, Jersey, Newark, and I tell people if they have enough people, I will go to their location and we can have a health party, you know. So I just want to ask anybody if they have any questions before I continue talking. Does anyone have any question? I hope everybody can hear me.
Can I be heard?
Yes, what is your name?
Yes, my name is Susan. How are you?
How are you? Where are you from, Susan?
Great. I'm here in great old New Jersey, Essex County, New Jersey. Yes, yes, yes. I've been listening to you. I kind of came in a little late, but there were two things. You said you talked about one modality, which was a feet detox, correct? Is that
Yes,
detox, right?
detox, yes.
Foot
And
detox. And also
yes.
you talked about the what was you just mentioning? Not
Wheatgrass.
The beamer and the wheatgrass.
The wheatgrass. And I'm sorry, the other thing?
The beamer, spelled B-E-M-E-R.
Now, what's the beamer, sir?
The beamer is a device. I tell people to go on YouTube. It's spelled B-E-M-E-R so they can learn more about it because they have tons of videos on it. So what it does, it increases the blood flow in your whole body by 30% in 8 minutes. So how they discovered this device, German scientists were studying some animals and said, why does animals, when they get sick, they just lay on the ground? So what happens when they're on the ground is this frequency that comes from the earth that helps increase the blood flow. So animals are all attuned to it. And what they do, they lay on the ground, especially when they're sick, they get this frequency, and then they don't eat because they have a health problem. When you don't eat, your body can concentrate on the healing part. But once you start eating, your body has to turn on the digestive system, the spleen, the liver, the kidneys. So whenever you're in a healing mode, that's what the body tries to do. Like you ever notice somebody who's in the hospital very sick, they just don't feel like eating. That's because their body's going into a healing mode. And then when you try to feed them, they might even throw up. So that's not an emergency situation that the body's going through. So that's how he discovered it, and he made this device, and it's been around in the United States for probably no more than 20 years, but in Germany, it's been here longer. They have it in the ambulance, they have it in hospitals, they give it to babies, and I was just so shocked about it. So
now,
I hope I answered your question.
B-E-A-E-R, Beamer?
Beamer without the A, B-E-M-E-R.
Okay, great. I'm going to look that up.
And there's a very simple. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Continue, sir.
No, I say it was a very simple device. You just lay on it for 8 minutes, and that's it. It have these frequencies that go through your body. Some people may feel it, like most people say, I feel a warmth, or I feel tingling.
Okay, great. And also you do a lot of the wheatgrass. Now, where do you get your wheatgrass basically from? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I definitely can hear you, sir.
Okay. So
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. So
Okay,
there's a company in Canada that I'm a distributor for, and I can give you my number. I'll probably give it to you all through the show.
Okay.
My email is mikemailbox1@yahoo.com. That's the number 1, mikemailbox1@yahoo.com. My number is 929-273-1481.
That's Mike Mailbox number 1@yahoo.com, 929-273-1481.
Yes.
Okay, great.
So during my shows, I'm going to come on twice a week, and I'm going to be talking about these things, and I'm going to be asking people for their testimonials. I'm going to ask people to come on and tell them what happened to them since they've been, trying the wheatgrass. It's very potent. Like, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I thought you finished. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's very potent. It just takes 1 minute to get in your blood. The more you take, the faster you will heal. I know people that say, I'm going to take 1 cube a day. And like, you can, but you have a condition. You want to speed up that condition. And you want your doctor to see it. I said, they will see it because you're boosting it up in your nutrition. Okay.
Now, what kind of lifestyle, or like healthy lifestyle, do you practice in conjunction with those two modalities that you were using? Like, When you wake up in the morning, Mike, what do you eat? Are you a vegetarian, or vegan, or pescatarian, or are you just a flexitarian?
Flexitarian. But
okay.
I try to do 80% raw. I still have struggled with that, but that's part of life. But the wheatgrass really help out because as we get older, we lose 1% of our circulation, so that's why elderly people really feel it. So like when I treat people with the Beamer, they really feel it, especially a lot of elderly people, and there's a whole lot of testimonials on those that I don't want to get into. But I try to, everybody has a challenge, and that's one reason why I want to start the Health Club, so we can challenge ourselves. One of the things I'm going to do is, okay, let's drink more water as a health challenge, or just lay off the sugar for a week. Let's lay off the salt. So I have a lot of things I want to do with the Health Club, because a lot of people just need help, or people that they know around them to help them out too. We all have health problems.
Do you exercise at all?
Yes. I used to be a rebound distributor. You know about the rebounder?
No, sir.
It's a mini trampoline. And what's good about it, you just do a little bounce on it, and for like a period of time, like 10, 15 minutes, it helps your blood flow. You're pushing the blood around, like it's all about blood flow. And it works every muscle and organ in your body. That's the only device that can really do that. So when you exercise your whole body, you're pushing that blood, so you're feeding all this blood to all your cells, your eyes, your brain, your skin. So when you boost up your nutrition, all that nutrition is going into all those areas. So I tell people to go on YouTube also. There's a lot of videos on that. It's called, one I had was called the Rebounder. They have other mini trampolines that you can use. I like it because, I can work out every day in my house. I don't have to go anywhere. It's right there. I have no excuse. So that's excellent. I'm also a raw food chef. I make a lot of different things, but I like to help people make like simple things so they can really get into it, like salad's the number one. It's very easy, and that can help you through your health journey. It has a lot of minerals and vitamins. I tell people if anything's green, that's where a lot of minerals and vitamins are. So you don't have to be complicated. Like people say, oh, well, how much vitamin C is in here, or how much? It doesn't matter. As long as it's green and fresh, everything's in there. So a lot of people make things too complicated. I'm like, just eat salads. It's very potent. It will clean you out. It has that chlorophyll in it, just like the wheatgrass. I hope I answered your question.
Is the wheatgrass, is that gluten-free?
Wheatgrass is, when you get the seed, it has gluten in it. Watch. When you sprout it, and it grows.
Okay, so is it sprouted? Because, see, I'm kind of gluten. I don't do gluten. Hello?
Yes, I hear you. I don't know why he keeps going out. We keep losing him.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you realize that you're going in and out, Michael?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you're in the middle of a sentence. You can be in the middle of a sentence and it just goes blank.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. But, once it, it's just a grain that has a lot of gluten.
So the wheatgrass does have gluten unless it's sprouted. Do you sell the sprouted? Because I don't do gluten at all. So I just wanted to know to make sure because some wheat is sprouted and they say the gluten is not there supposedly, but I can't risk that.
Mhm.
So would you say no go for me if to go for the wheatgrass or what? Because it sounds like it's from a good reputable company, and I'm always in the market for good products actually. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Michael?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry about that.
This is Adrian. I'm going to ask quickly. When you were just talking about the gluten and things like that, how does that aid? I know it's a filler, correct? How does that aid with? How does that aid? How does that aid in weight loss?
But the wheatgrass you talk about, correct?
Yes.
So I experience like when I take more wheatgrass, I eat less because your body wants nutrition. And a lot of times we eat these things that have no nutrition in it. So your body's going to simply say, I'd eat more. And I realized when I took more of the wheatgrass, like one day I took 10 ounces, and all of a sudden I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, wow, I didn't eat today. I didn't even have the urge to eat. And I know people who buy the wheatgrass, I warned them, have it on an empty stomach. So they have it on an empty stomach, and they went to fix breakfast maybe like 20 minutes later, and they called me up, and I said, Mike, I have a question. I'm like, yeah, I had your wheatgrass on an empty stomach, like you said, but when I fixed breakfast, I didn't feel like eating it. And that's because you got the nutrition in 1 minute. So your body will respond like that way. I'm not hungry. So it's excellent for weight loss because you need your nutrition, and that's what your body needs. And once you get your nutrition, that hunger sensation will kind of turn off because it's getting the minerals, it's getting the vitamins, and, a lot of these foods that we eat just don't have that, especially when you cook it. That's why I like doing raw, because when I did raw, I ate less, and I like to eat. And people would tell me, so, Michael, you're not eating as much as you used to. I'm like, yeah, I kind of noticed that. And I like food. So, I eat a lot of raw foods, and I tell people, you have to try it. You'll see the difference. I can fast longer, and that's really excellent because I can, detox better.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell people also, go on YouTube and study it. It's really wonderful. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, let's go back a little bit. Now, I know you said you get it offline.
I'm a distributor. So, like, people want to order from me, I, send them the link. Mike Mailbox 1@yahoo.com. If they want to contact me, that's the number 1.
Wait, say that again. What at Yahoo?
Mike Mailbox number 1.
My mailbox at Yahoo. Mike, Mike.
Yes.
Okay, Mike Mailbox at yahoo.com.
Mailbox 1, the number 1.
Oh, Mike 1.
Yeah,
okay.
Yahoo.com. So you just text me, and I can send you the link. You can check it out. But, I also tell people, a lot of people don't know about wheatgrass. I said, go on YouTube. There's so many things on wheatgrass. I experienced the people who buy from me, they experience and say, the doctor said this is the best blood test I ever had. I'm like, that's what it's all about, the blood. You feed the blood can build up your body. Blood is life. That's what when you go to the doctor, that's what they look at, is your blood. They can tell your condition through your blood. So that's the key. And, I want to, help people out, start the health club, go on health challenges. The weight loss should be pretty easy. It's just that you eat terrible. You should eat terrible, excess stuff. And that's where we get the problem. It's not eating healthy.
I have a question, Mike.
Oh, hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Great information, great show. Thank you. So your wheatgrass comes frozen. How do you take it? You have to wait for it to defrost? Or can you just put it in your mouth and let it defrost in your mouth? How do you take it?
You can do them both, but I usually take the cubes, frozen cubes, I'll put it in on half a cup of water, dissolve like in a minute or so, and I just drink it. Sometime I'm in a rush, I'll take it and just put it in my mouth because I'm in a rush because I really want to take it. And it's so funny, the company asked me to be a distributor, and I'm like, oh, why? I didn't want to be a distributor. They said, you asked us so much questions about wheatgrass that no one never asked us before. So we figured you were very educated, about wheatgrass. And I just kind of laughed because I said, I saw a nature program where I saw these deers. They were looking for food, and it was like in Alaska. I'm like, what are they going to eat? And they just push the snow aside, and below the snow is frozen wheatgrass. I'm like, oh. So, I don't like running to the store all the time to get the wheatgrass. So I'm going to get it frozen, and that's how it started. So, like the club, I'm telling you, that's going to be the key for everyone. Just think if you had 5, 6 people, 10 people, you're all in the club, you're all going to these health challenges, you're learning things, you're listening to the podcast. This network is really great. I think there's two or three herbalists on Growing Close Network podcast, and I learned a lot from them. And we have to do this because that's the only way we can heal our community. We've got to start a group. We all know somebody that's sick, have health challenges, especially a lot of elderly people. We can really help them out. And all you have to do is just get on your phone and help you with your club. It's so simple.
Mm-hmm.
We've got all this new technology. Well, we got to use it. If we don't use it, we're going to get lost. Now they say the parents are going to outlive their kids because the kids eat so terrible now. It's a shame when you're giving all this sugar and salt. And then the elderly people, my needs, arthritis, the high blood sugar, diabetes, you name it. A lot of people in our community have all these dialysis in our neighborhoods, and I'm like, wow. I said, things are getting worse. We got to do something. How long are we going to sit here and wait? So if anybody has any more questions?
Michael, I have a question statement, something that I learned this week, if I can share that.
Sure.
So on John Monroe's show yesterday, he mentioned that a gram of the chaga mushroom has more antioxidants than 4 pounds of blueberries.
Yes, I heard it. I also have the item also, and it's one of the highest. This is one of the antioxidants.
Yeah, and then I saw, because it's all about health and overall wellness, I saw a video where Dr. Sebi was speaking, and the lady was thanking him for curing her husband's blindness. And he said there was only one person in that area on his visit that he treated for blindness, and it wasn't her husband. And
he kind of went out. But yes, but chaga is supposed to be one of the highest in antioxidants. And one of the things that antioxidants do is kind of
treat the man for blindness. He treated him for something else, and to the right. and it cured his blindness. So again, our body's one great machine. I'm looking forward to the club. I'm in. Whatever we have to do, however we have to do it, because accountability is so important, and the sharing of information and transparency is very important. And you're right, that's the only way we're going to live, and then hopefully our children can live longer than us. No fear in place. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, that's one thing about the club I wanted to do. So that's the only way we're going to prevail. We got to teach each other, teach our kids how to make food, simple foods, that's tasty instead of running to McDonald's or all the fast foods. I tell people we have to do this, especially for our kids and elderly people. And, when you go to the hospital, they're going to rob you blind with your money, So I tell them we have to do this, So we need to start with you, the listeners. You took that step already. Just listen to the program. It's excellent. And, I learned from other people just by listening to the program. Like, one of my friends told me something very interesting. I told her, you got to drink more water. And she tells me, like, Mike, I don't like drinking water, especially in the morning. And I said, that's the most important time you should drink the water. I can drink more water in the morning than any other time of the day. And she said to me, but when I drink water in the morning, it makes me feel nauseous. So when she told me that, I thought about it. I'm like, you know why you feel nauseous? Because when you were sleeping at night, your body was detoxing your body. So when you wake up, you have all the toxins in you that needs to be released. So that's why you should drink the water so you can flush it out. That says, actually, all animals in the morning, they drink a lot of water. When I see nature programs, they drink more water in the morning than any other time. So I'm like, yeah, we need that water. So that's why I want to start the club. And I think, I want to have a book club also. I read a book called Your Body Cries for Water, and it was very interesting. So I want to start a book club with the Health Club. We read the book and we share it, educate all of us, So anybody have any more questions? I like questions.
Mike, real quick question. Now, I didn't hear you talk about the gluten because you went out. So is it a good thing for me to take that wheatgrass because I'm gluten intolerant, or no?
I think you should, because the gluten is broken down when it actually becomes a grass. It's just that when it's a grain, there's gluten in there. And that gluten is there to help the plant germinate and grow. But once it gets to a grass, there's no gluten in it. But I tell people to test it out, put it on your wrist to see how you react, put it on your cheek or tip of your lip to see if you get any kind of reaction. Take a little at a time. You see, have you had wheatgrass before?
I have tried wheatgrass in the past, but I learned that supposedly that there was that, like you just said, those grains, and they didn't interact real well with me. So you started talking about something being sprouted. Now, do they have something called sprouted wheatgrass? Maybe that may not,
Well, it's
talk
wheatgrass.
About the mold. You said that mold was prevalent, and maybe
right.
You tolerated it.
But the grain is a grain. So once it sprouts and grows into the green stalk, which is the grass, then they juice the grass and you get a juice. So you're getting the chlorophyll from the grass, the green grass, and all the minerals that's coming up from the soil, and you get the vitamins from the grass. So it's totally different than the grain. So the gluten is not in the grass juice. It's only in the grain. Because in the grain, it's very toxic to people, so that's why they have a reaction. And grains usually have toxins to protect the plant from being overeaten. So that's why a lot of people eat too many grains. They might get that reaction like, they get sick, they don't feel well. And yes, but it's no gluten in the juice of the wheatgrass. Like I said, you're not sure. I said just test it out, put it on your skin, and
right. Okay, we'll do. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Michael, I'm sorry. Can you explain why you say put it on your skin or on your cheek? Can you explain that process of how your body, what would cause your body to react if it's on your skin?
Well, your skin is very sensitive. I tell people, that's if you're not sure of something, especially when you have allergic reactions to anything. I tell people, well, test it on your skin. Like I said, even with babies, put it on their lips or their cheeks or their wrists. They get a reaction or start scratching. That's, a sign that you may not need to take it, or get tested on it. But that's just a natural reaction because those part of your body is very sensitive. So I tell people.
Thank you.
So I tell people. So the club is, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be great. You got friends and family, spread it around. I'm not going to even help and design a flyer where you can just give to people and they can see what it's all about. Like I had a family reunion. I have a big family. And I asked them, can I do a presentation on how to make seed milk? So I did it. They were like very impressed and tried it out. They said it was good. And my mother was there. She's in her 80s and had a lot of elderly relatives. And when I made the milk and people tried it out, the first thing, the elderly people said, that's why Michael's mother looked so good, because she was the only one, like, walking around, had no problem. Everybody, all the elders had problems and a cane, had somebody help them up. So I was so happy to do that in my family reunion. So, I said, well, I got to help my family out, too. I got to start here. So that's what I want you guys to do, too. We all know somebody was sick, and this is our opportunity to do something. Anybody have any more questions?
I'm sorry, just a quick.
So how old are you?
What seed you take? What seed you take?
Can you speak up a little louder? I'm sorry.
Sure, sir. What seed milk did you make? Did you make pumpkin seed milk, sesame seed? What seed milk?
At the family reunion, I made pumpkin seed milk. That's like one of my favorite.
Oh, my goodness.
I make sesame milk, sunflower seed milk, Brazil nut milk, almond milk, and they're all very nutritious. They're more nutritious than milk, so that's why I'm like, wow, I used to like milk, but if this is more nutritious, why not try it? Especially you can make it at home. It's so nutritious that it'll go bad in 3 or 4 days. That's how nutritious. Anything very nutritious will go bad fast. Okay, someone else had a question, I think. So, yeah, the milks, you got to sprout that also. And, get rid of the toxins in the plant, or be less toxic. Because a lot of food has toxins in it. There's certain things you have to do to get the toxins out. Sometimes some things you got to cook to get the toxins out. So, and we're going to be teaching people easy recipes they can make at home. So I'm on twice a month. So the first Thursday, and then the third Thursday, I'll be doing the show at 5 o'clock. Twice a month. And, tell your friends and family, just listen to the network, Grown Folk Network. They have a lot of things. They have a lot of herbalists which are very helpful. And you can learn a lot from them. But the most important thing is you need your nutrition for your body to rebuild itself. And the wheatgrass, I think, is the fastest way. They have other ways, too. Just by eating the raw foods is excellent, too. But the wheatgrass, 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce, take it on an empty stomach in 1 minute, you're good. And you're going to feel it like you may realize, oh, I didn't eat that much today, or I ate less, or I didn't eat at all. That's what I went through. When you have a condition, I tell people you have to take more. And also they have Beamer reps all around the country. Like anybody wants to experience that, I can help them contact a person who have a Beamer. Like I said, my to contact me, Mike, mailbox 1 at yahoo.com. My number is 929-273-1481. And I can help you find somebody in your local area. But that's very good. In Germany, they have so much research over there more than they have in the United States. So I can't read German. So I wish I could look it up and see what all other things they do. Matter of fact, it's considered as a medical device in the United States. So if people have medical insurance or account, they can actually purchase the Beamer using their medical insurance account. So, which is great. And they also have a payment plan, which is really great. So, but I knew I had to get it because when you get older, you're going to lose your circulation. So that's why you see so many elderly people. They have problems with arthritis. And as a matter of fact, I have a client who's 85, and he says to me, Mike, that Beamer really helped my knees and my back. And I'm like, oh, wow, so that's great. He said, I think I'm going to have to buy one. And I met another lady walking with a walker. She used to get treatment from me all the time, and she came up to me one day and said, Mike, I want to talk to you. I'm like, sure. What's going on? She said, I want to buy that device. I'm like, why? She said, Mike, that's the only thing that works. They used to give me these pills and stuff, and it didn't even work the best. So it's all about that blood flow. You just need to get there to try to heal the problem. If you can't rebuild it, then it's not going to get any better. It's just going to get weaker. So I tell people those two devices, I really like the Beamer and wheatgrass. It's like amazing, especially when your doctor will tell you, oh, your blood work has been good. It's all about your blood work when you go to the doctor. That's what they look at first. So it's, I tell people, I said, wheatgrass, that's my medicine. And I don't even tell the doctors what I do because I know they're not going to understand. And it's, they're in there for give you medicine and stuff. So tell people the club, I really want that to really kick off because even if I'm not here or won't be able to broadcast, but at least you got your club, you got your family together, your group, you're helping out. And that's the key. Like a lot of people know people are sick and, this is a way you can help them out. So anybody have any questions? I want my information again if you didn't get it. And then also on the show, I'm going to have people come on and tell their testimonials about the wheatgrass, tell their testimony about the Beamer, the foot detox, what they went through, or testimony on what the doctor said, or what they noticed in their body, or they lost weight. So we need to hear this, especially as a group, in your group, well, this person, they lost weight, or the doctor said this, that. And that's what it's all about, to get us going. So if anybody have any questions, just chime right in. What time is it? We still have a lot of time.
Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6:03 p.m.
6:03.
Oh, yeah.
So I like the fact, Beamer has a podcast on Blog Talk Radio where people do have the Beamer, and I will listen to it. Comes on every week. It's got Beamer Tuesday, I believe it is. And people call in and tell their testimony about the Beamer they have. And I heard so much stuff. I'm like, wow. And they even have it for horses, which I was shocked about. I'm like, horses? So those race horses that are very expensive, they said the horses just line up for it because they feel it. I'm like, oh, wow. So it's actually for people who have pets. And I'm like, oh, wow. But if you're in the New York area, I have places where I can give people a Beamer treatment and they can, experience it. And also, Forrest having something on August 10th in Newark, where I would be there with the Beamer, talking about the wheatgrass, the flippy talk, and helping people with their clubs. And I'm excited about that. And maybe sell some food. I'm a raw food chef. I make a cashew cheesecake, which everybody really loves, and also make a vegan carrot tuna salad. And everybody really likes that. A friend of mine's taught me how to make that in Philadelphia. She's an excellent chef. She gives classes and things like that. And I'm always willing to learn, and I want to, share it with people. Like I had a friend of mine say to me, Mike, you know all this stuff, you should teach. I'm like, I don't want to teach. He said, but you know so much stuff. And I thought about it. I'm like, you know what, you're right. Why should I keep it to myself? And actually, I learned from other people. I might as well share it. I have a coworker who was pregnant, and I would just ask her health questions. And she told me one thing. She said, my bones hurt. So I said, if your bones hurt, that means you're mineral deficient, especially you're pregnant. She said, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, well, just go to the doctor and ask. So she went to the doctor, and the doctor told her you're mineral deficient. And she says, Michael, how did you know? He says, our body talks to us, but we don't listen to it through pain, discomfort, tired, hungry. And we don't really listen to that. So as she was, I'd go along, ask her questions, and one day she had her baby, and she said, oh, my baby's taking so much milk from me. Because she was breastfeeding. And I said, that's because you're still mineral deficient. And then maybe a couple months later, she found out her baby had autism, and I felt so bad, and I didn't want to ask her any more questions because I already knew how it was going to be. So it's all about nutrition. I tell people that's life. It's the blood, and you get the blood going, get the circulation going, get the nutrition. It's going to heal you. It's simple. But we make it so complicated. I know we get all these commercials. They throw all these things at you. And people just overeat. The reason why they overeat because there's no nutrition in the food. They design it that way so you can buy more. Like I remember one time when I was young, I had like these cookies, and I would just only eat a few of them. And as I get older, I realized I can eat the whole box. I'm like, what's the difference? Why am I eating a whole box of cookies? Because they took the nutrition out, they put the sugar in, they put the salt in to make you addicted to it, the high fructose corn syrup, they got you. And I see a lot of people do that. I'm like, wow. So they're really messing us up just for money. So anybody have any questions about the club, the health club, the wheatgrass, the Beamer? Yes.
I'm sorry.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So you've given out your email, and it's Mike, mailbox 1 at yahoo.com, correct?
Yes.
And so do you want us to email you and let you know that we want to join the club, or do you want us to email you, let you know we want to join the club and tell you what we want to work on? So maybe it may not be my family and friends who might be interested, but it may be the friends of the podcast who are interested in kind of working together, and then you can maybe sync them up, those who are working on maybe the same things, addressing the same issues. And also, there's a belief that your blood type determines the type of food you should eat.
Yes, I'm familiar with that too.
Yes.
Matter of fact,
so go ahead.
My blood type is O, and when I started eating it raw, everything raw, had no meat or fish, for like 2-3 months, and I noticed that it was just something wrong. And I noticed that I had to eat some meat. And I only had like a little bit, and all of a sudden I felt so good, and I didn't know what happened. So that's when I looked into the blood type. In my blood type, they said I just need a little bit of meat, and it's just an ounce of meat. That's it. Not a whole bucket full of chicken. But most of my food was just salads and stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can deal with that. Before I used to eat a lot of meats, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which a lot of people do. So for every 10 days, I just feel like that. So I just, let me just get a little piece of meat, and I'm fine.
That's
It's not like it
interesting.
used to be there.
I am O positive, and when I looked into it, it said high protein, low carb, clear fruits and vegetables. So maybe, part of the club would be first people finding out what their blood types are, because many people don't know. They don't know
Right.
theirs, they don't know their children's, and it's very important to know that. I remember decades ago, before you were issued a marriage license, they gave you a blood test. I'm not sure what they were trying to figure out, but it was supposed to make sure that your genetic compatibility reduced the chances of a child being born with a disability. But yes, you used to have to get a blood test in New York before you could get a marriage license. Just, so yeah, the blood type is important, and I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited, Michael. Thank you.
Yes, it's all about the blood. I tell people, I said, get that blood up, and your body's going to do wonders. Our body is a wonder. We just need to feed it and give it rest and sleep and drink water, give it all the bad fluid, and you'll see it rebound. Like I met a lady, and she had like serious problems. I didn't know exactly what she had, but she was very mean. I remember that. And just the expression on her face. And she was at one of my friend's raw food class, and I was helping her out. So I told her, I said, listen, what's wrong with that lady? She looked so mean, and she was looking at me, and she was, elder lady. And my friend said, well, Mike, we're going to ask her to leave because everybody in the room was uncomfortable with her. I'm like, oh. So she made arrangements, she left, and all of a sudden, maybe 2 years later, I was at a health expo. Me and my friend, this raw food chef, and the lady interrupt her and start talking to her. Then after she finished talking to her, my friend says, Mike, do you know who that was? I'm like, no. Remember that lady you said looked really mean in the class and I had to ask her to leave? I'm like, yes, that's her. I'm like, that's not her. She said, Michael, I'm telling you, she looked totally different. She lost a lot of weight. She looked younger. She looked very friendly, all because she changed her mind and she changed her diet. But I still don't believe that was her. And my friend just laughed and said, Michael, I'm telling you, that was her. And that's what happened to you when you start doing these things. And as a club, we're going to learn how to do it, your diet, how to use your mind. We have these herbalists on the network. We can all do it. People already put their foot out there already, so we got to start. And we're going to learn other things. Like we talk about the chaga, like I knew about that, but there's only so much I can say on here. Then it's the lion's mane mushroom. Like I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but that's excellent too. So we're going to learn together. Start a book club, and we're going to get it. The doctor's not telling you anything, but telling, oh, take this medication. They don't even tell you how you should eat. Everything is just for them to make money. So we're going to make our health better. We're going to show the doctors, yeah, my blood work is good. Yeah, I'm doing better. I don't have to take that medication anymore. We can do it. I tell you that we just need to do it as a group. Like I want to learn from all of you too, because that's how I learn most of my stuff, through other people. Like I used to work at a department store, and I used to work around a lot of coworkers, and I would test them sometimes. Like, someone would come and ask me questions, and one person said, I have a headache. And I was telling them, well, drink some water. They said, why do you always say that? I'm like, just try it. And all of a sudden, 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, they'll come back to me and say, my headache is gone. I'm like, oh, really? I wonder why. I'll just tease them. And I learned from a lot from them. Like, my friend that was pregnant, I asked her all these questions. I had another lady, she would have terrible menstrual problems. I'm like, drink water and take this wheatgrass. And she came back and said, that kind of really helped. I said, when you're on your menstrual, you have to, your body needs to rebuild that area because you're losing blood and you have to rebuild there too. So you have to get your nutrition together. That's what anybody, no matter what condition it is. I said it's all about the blood. It's all about the circulation. It's all about sleeping. It's all about exercise. Exercise not only strengthens your body, it helps you detox too. And then once you exercise, your body is starving for nutrition. So that's when the wheatgrass come in. Your body gets to the 1 minute. So it's great for people who are working out for their recovery. But people get it just for that. It's, I recover real fast. I could even go more. I'm like, great. So it's, I tell people, that's my medicine. So I'm pushing my wheatgrass medicine. So anybody have any more questions? Like the Health Club, I'm really, really excited about that because I want you to help people out, help your family out, help your group out, help your church out, especially women who want to have a child. So I said, you need to prepare your body first. That's when a baby gets most of the nutrition is in the beginning stage. So before you get pregnant, get the wheatgrass and stuff. I even tell them once you have your baby, you don't give them wheatgrass. You have it and breastfeed. Your breast milk is going to be much healthier. So simple. Whatever. So I want to let people say we're going to do all this simple stuff and we're going to get our health together. People want to lose weight, you're going to see the difference. And wheatgrass been around for a long time. Ann Widmore, she really, pushed it, and I think every health clinic or resort they usually have wheatgrass. You can see wheatgrass everywhere. It's very nutritious. But I didn't like the one in the stores because half the time I would get nauseous, and I learned that, and I tell people, I said, there's mold in there because when they grow on those trays, in the apple store, they tend to overwater it, and it creates mold. I'm like, oh, that's why I felt nauseous, like I'm going to throw up. So I told people, try it out. You can even, if you have a friend, and say, oh, let's order some and just test it out. 2 people, they split it and say they're how they feel. I like it when they do that because they each give each other their own testimonial.
Mike?
Yes.
I want to be the angel's advocate. So I heard you mention women when you are preparing to have a baby, to make a baby, to build your body or build your system up. But as an angel advocate, I want to say the same thing for the gentleman, because that initial connection of those 2 elements that are going to make that baby, the DNA and the genetics, well, the DNA mostly, right? The genetics and the condition of the body of both the mom and the dad are very, very, very important. And one of the odd things is once that happens, that conception, we're living our lives a good 2 or 3 months before we even know we're pregnant. And so, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the first trimester that the brain is formed. I have to double check that. My brain tells me that from decades ago I heard it. Is that correct?
I believe it's correct. I can't see it growing the feet first, but I think the brain would be the most important.
Correct. So in that first trimester, we don't even know we're having a baby, and so we're still engaging in life as wonderful as we like. Friday night, Saturday night, hanging out, doing a little this, little that. When the most important element is being developed. But if we're in the stage, go ahead.
It's pretty much both the male and the female. Like, I was thinking about maybe I should start a men's health club too, because they have a lot of problems, and the women, But it is both sides to help that baby out. It's so important.
Mr. Mike.
Yes. Hi.
You lady who you were talking with, you was trying to help her with her diet, and her son or daughter had autism. When did that child come out autistic? At what age was that child? Did they diagnose that child as being autistic?
I'm not sure, but I know one of the things I remember, she said her baby wasn't talking as they got older, and that's when they found out that the baby had autism.
Okay, because I'm like almost like an expert in that. Truly.
Okay, and I felt so bad, because, she was my coworker, but we didn't really, she wasn't really into health,
Yeah.
And she would run to McDonald's all the time, and I'm like, you need to stop going to McDonald's.
Yeah, but it's not even McDonald's. It's the MMR, the mumps, measles, and rubella shot. Back when, it's funny, when my mother, I went to my mother's house a long time ago, and my mother actually, I'm 61 years old, and my mother actually had my vaccination card like in 8th or 7th grade. Because you used to get vaccinations in school, correct? They would do vaccinations. And they didn't give you as many vaccinations, Mike, that they do today to the youngsters. Now, they have, there is a merit of vaccines they give a little baby. It's like, are you serious? You're talking about vaccine overload and compromising the immune system? Yet, when we were younger, we didn't have them as babies. They were like maybe certain ones you had to get, and then you went into different phases to get them. But they're lumping all this stuff together, which they did with the MMR. And when you look, if anybody want to do their research of the MMR, when they start lumping that vaccine together, they used to have it separate, measles, mumps, and rubella separately. And that didn't compromise the immune system. But when they lumped it all together, you can do your research. That's when the onset of autism started. And I told a woman that, and she's like, oh, no. I said, just be careful of the vaccine, especially if you have a baby. And also the fact, like you said, Mike, they didn't eat well. Your immune systems are very compromised, that you can't take those vaccines. You know what I'm saying? So there's no one size fits all, but you got to be very careful. Some people can, children can bear them vaccines, but if you have a father or mother who has asthma, who has any type of compromised immune system, then it's going to further your child into that area. So they have to be very careful because, like I said before, they didn't give you all those shots. And they have proven that. There's been people who have been suing over this, and it's it's having a spillover effect into the black community. I mean, where you have young boys who are getting this autism, and it's no joke. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I just want to say that I did warn her about the vaccine, and she told me something. She says, they told me I have to. I said, yeah, they don't tell you that, but you don't have to. I said, what you could have said is, oh, you know what, let me let my baby get a little stronger, and I'll come back. That's all you had to say.
Yeah. But there is also
you just got, I tell you guys, feed your baby. You got to give it the nutrition. You got to build up your mother's milk. You got to take that wheatgrass. You got to eat right, get rid of all the sugar. Your baby going to be fine. Listen to those other countries but they don't have doctors. They just have the baby. I said, well, the reason why they just have the baby and the baby's okay because they get the nutrition from the land.
And they
We
don't
get it
give
from
them all
boxes and cereals and juices. There's no nutrition in that.
and they don't give them all those shots either, Michael. And let me tell you, the Jewish community don't give all those shots to their children either. It's funny how, it's like, they have if anybody's interested, you don't want your child to get those shots, say that it's religious purposes. See, they don't tell us that. They do not want us to know that caveat. But you can say, oh, no, for religious purposes, my children can't get these shots because my system is, it may be compromised. There may be asthma. Who knows, sickle cell or whatever. You got to be very, very careful. If you're carrying a baby and you have a compromised immune system, beware. I have seen it over and over and over again, I tell you, you wouldn't want to wish that on anybody, any parent. It's sad. It's very, very sad to think that your child have to be dependent on you for the rest of your life. And
exactly.
It can be prevented if people listen. Don't always listen to the doctor, and you know that, Michael. They have told us stuff that they lie. They actually in New Jersey, they were giving doctors incentives to give children these shots. Why would you give a doctor incentive to give a shot? That's crazy.
Okay,
Yes,
I just want to say we don't have much time, but you are right. I tell people, listen to the doctor, just write it down, but you don't have to do it. A lot of people think they have to do it. I'm like, just see what they have to say. And then you determine what you can do or what alternative that you can do. That's what most people don't do. And do your research, especially when you're going to have a baby. You should automatically know they're going to come after you and do these things and tell you, oh, it's okay, it's normal. I'm like, no, you ask what's going on. They want to do that shot, so you want to make the baby get a little stronger because it's just been born. Why are you going to give it these terrible shots when they screaming when they get the shot? So on that note, thank everyone for coming on the show. I'm going to give you my information again. Mike, mailbox1 at yahoo.com. My number is 929-273-1481. I hope I answered everybody's questions. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. Like my next show is the third week in March. And if you have any comments, please email or what do you want to talk about with the health club. I'm excited about it. We have to do it. Maybe it'll be a club for women who are pregnant. That would be great too. So, anybody have any last minute questions? So we have to help others, not just ourselves. We got to spread our knowledge. Like the wheatgrass of my medicine, tell people about the Beamer, Detox, the Health Club. I think that's going to be more powerful than anything else. And on the network, we have two herbalists I know, Abdul and Tony Moore. I had heard some of their things, and it was really good. I'm like, wow, I never heard that before. So on this network, we're going to learn a lot of things. This is a new area. Anybody have any questions before, we leave?
I wanted to say thanks for the information, Mike. I was listening to you, this Marcus. I like it. Looking forward to your health club and more good things to come in the future. Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you. So it's not about me, it's about you too. We all have to teach our friends and family, especially our family. We know a lot of people who have health challenges. Get together, the people with prostate. Get together, let's talk about that. With the men, the women, the breast cancer. Let's talk about that, any kind of cancer. Let's see what's going on. What kind of new things that you learn about, pass it on to others. I know one thing that wheatgrass, our doctors are just like amazed, like, oh, you're doing so well. The number one thing I learned from that, he says, oh, we never had to stop doing your medication on you because your blood work has been excellent. So I realized that, so now I'm spreading it to other people. I said, make sure your blood work is good so you don't have to stop the treatment. Because once your blood work is bad, they may not continue because they think that the medication is weakening you so much they have to stop it because they see it in your blood. So I tell people, hey, you just got to build up that blood. The wheatgrass is so simple. You got to detox, you got to fast, and we're going to learn how to do that all together. So it is 6:30. Time for me in my show. So anyone have any other questions? Forrest, are you there? I wanted to say thank you, everybody. Looking forward to hearing you guys and your questions. And on the next show, write down some questions about the detox, Beamer, wheatgrass, and the club. And also, yes.
So when you mentioned your blood work and people understanding the value of it and the changes, and I think that's going to be a great education piece for individuals, let's say for the public, to be able to review the results of your blood work. Every time we have blood work done, they're now putting all of that information in a portal. Some people look at the portal, some people do not. But it'd be very good if we can have ourselves or professionals, outside of ourselves, to kind of like analyze blood work in a sense. They don't have to look at everybody's, but say what's normal ranges. If you are going through treatment, let's discuss the treatment and the results of your blood work through your treatment, and when you can advocate for yourself, because now you're being educated and not just told stories, that would be extremely, extremely powerful. And then as you were mentioning cancer, the show after you is Beat Cancer Answer with Carl. I believe that's at 7, right? 7 or 8. Someone help me. Beat Cancer Answer with Carl. And then the Real American Time to Wake Up. I believe that's at 8:30. And that's on Thursday nights, right? And then we have the 7 a.m. prayer call every day. And so the first and third.
You got it right, Bobby.
I'm looking forward. Thank you very much. So everyone, come back on. And if you're listening to this on our YouTube, good for you. Grown Folk Talking, Express Yourself YouTube. The shows are live, and then they're put up for your listening pleasure 24/7, 365. Like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell.
Yes, and also I want to say, if it's on YouTube, share with other people that you know, especially people you would like to be in your health club, so they can listen to it, So the next time I have a show, we'll have more people in and your friends. So on that note, thank everyone. I look forward to working with everyone.
Thank you, Mike. I was listening.
Okay.
Wonderful show, brother.
Thank you. So on that note, I'm going to end, and the cancer show is coming up next. We should listen to that, So I want to thank everyone and look forward to seeing you guys in 2 weeks. So I just want to say good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.